Welcome to Solve It Like a Marketer. Yes, it is nearly the end of 2022. So for this final episode of the year, I wanted to field just a few more questions that I've been getting online in the comments. As always, please leave me your comments and questions and I will check them. I think I usually check them maybe once a week, usually on a Wednesday when a new episode is published. So the first question I get actually asked quite a lot is obviously my videos are in English. And sometimes I get asked, well, can you have them translated into other languages? So I did a little test myself just to make sure, but the power of YouTube is such that it will auto-translate into whatever language that you want it to. So all you need to do is in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, click on the CC icon so that you see the auto translation come up, which probably will default maybe to English. Then click on the gear icon and choose auto translate. And then from there, you're going to get a long list of different languages that you can choose. So please go ahead and do that so that you can enjoy my videos in whichever language that you want to watch them. Now, I got another question, which is again something quite frequent that I get, which is I really want to learn marketing, but I don't know where to begin. So I've had a lot of questions from people asking me, okay, so I'd actually like maybe to come to Canada and learn marketing. So what I've been trying to do is interview different spokespeople from different colleges and universities in Canada to talk about their marketing programs. And I've done 2 of those so far. So please look for them. My last video, which came out, I believe it was last week, really covers a lot of the ins and outs of which school to choose, what to think about when you're choosing a school. Also the pitfalls, the fact that there are private institutions out there that really just want to take your money. So you want to go for an accredited college or university. And then what it's like to basically be abroad, but be searching for a good college or university, and who can you talk to in order to get more information. So take a look at those couple of other videos that I did, and I'm going to try and do more of those in the new year so that you can get some more information on that. Now, my next question was kind of interesting. It's from a student who's been reading The Mind of the Strategist by Kenichi Omae. And she wanted to understand basically what the 4 basic strategies are that he's covering in his book. So I encourage you to maybe take a look on Amazon or wherever and pick up the book, because he's really a fabulous strategist. But in essence, he analyzes 4 different ways to gain advantage over competition at a reasonable cost. Okay. And the 4 different ways that he cites are to reallocate resources, number 1. Number 2, focus on exploiting one's relative strength. Number 3, redefine the key issues of the business by taking some kind of bold action. And number 4, exploit any degrees of freedom to act. So those are the 4, but I encourage you to look them up and explore further. He also covers in that book what's sometimes called the strategic triangle, which I've done, I think, a couple of videos on this. And that's company, competitors, and customers, sort of the 3. And he talks about the fact that when you're analyzing these 3, they need to be in balance with each other. A lot of times when we're doing marketing strategy, we actually start with these 3 C's analysis, also called a situational analysis. So they're really key and really important. So take a look at those videos as well. What else does he say? He mentions another key point, which I kind of rather liked. He says, be aware, use foresight, and never stop asking why. And I think that's a really interesting insight. As marketers and as thinkers, we always have to be questioning why and never take things for face value. So why are we designing a certain campaign this way? Why are we using certain social media platforms and not others? Why are clients asking for X, Y, and Z? Always ask why. And you know what? This even pertains to the end of the process. Maybe you've gone through an entire marketing process, and even then you should ask, well, why? Why did we do this? And was it actually successful? As marketers, we're on kind of a feedback loop. So we start the process and we go through the process, and then we come back to the beginning again and look at everything afresh. So for instance, if you're doing a yearly social media campaign, it shouldn't actually be linear. You should start, you get to the end of 6 months or a year, and then you loop back and go, well, what did we do well? And what did we not do so well? And then you try and adjust as you're moving forward. And the final comment that popped out at me, because it mentions marketing myopia, which is kind of one of my favorite things by Theodore Levitt. This viewer said, I think marketing myopia happens when the company or organization focuses only on product instead of focusing on customer needs and customer feedback. And the company isn't aware of new changes in the market. You know what? Thumbs up to that. I mean, that's really the essence of marketing myopia. And you know what? You would be surprised how many organizations, both for-profit and non-profit, that suffer from marketing myopia. They may have large marketing teams, but they all have blinkers on. So again, this goes back to the fact that we always have to be willing to be self-critical and thinkers, and always be analyzing, are we doing the best possible job that we can? And as this viewer mentioned, yes, the product or service matters, but it's about the user or the customer or the donor or the member. It's about them. They are the people that you're reaching out to, right? You know what? I'll give a kind of a funny little example. When you're creating, for instance, a logo for a new client, or maybe you're in-house, and your manager says, you've created the logo and it's orange. And your manager says, well, I don't like orange. Tricky, because you can't say, well, actually, you're wrong. But again, it's a fine example because, again, it's not about you. It's not about your manager. It's about who you are reaching out to. So does the customer, does the member, does the donor, is orange something that resonates with them? So we do have to be more and more, even more so with social media and the various platforms that we're dealing with, we have to be focused on the customer. So you know what? As my final thoughts for 2023, first of all, I want to thank you for watching and supporting my channel.
Yay!
I'm getting a lot of comments and great feedback, and I really do appreciate that. It kind of motivates me to keep going because I really enjoy researching and filming these episodes, but to get that feedback is even better. But my final thoughts were, I get to the end of my year, for instance, and there are a couple of things that I do, and I'll just share it with you. One is that I try and look back at the year, which, to be honest, just seems like a mist in time. Things happen so quickly. But I try and look back and pinpoint what were some of the things that I managed to achieve. Now, these may have been very small things. Maybe a large thing was gaining a new client, doing a marketing campaign. But what were the small achievements? What were the small victories along the way? It's so important that you take a moment to reflect and kind of pat yourself on the back for a job well done. And the other thing I try and do, again, just over a coffee with myself, is think about the next year, so 2023. What is that going to look like? How can I improve on myself? What are the things that I can improve upon as a marketer? How can I do better with my clients, give better customer service? How can I achieve better things? Are there things that I was afraid to do, or things that I just didn't have time to do? Maybe next year I can tackle those. So I encourage you to look back and look forward.
What the?
So I wish you all the best for the holiday season, and I will catch you in 2023. And of course, as always, together we will solve it like a marketer.